So just giving an update on Dorito versus USA. I just went on a pretty big podcast, a failure podcast with Austin Slagle up in Battleground, Washington. I suggest you guys go listen to it because I've talked about a lot of things I haven't talked about before. When I came back from deployment in April of 22, I put in yet another FOIA request, probably like the 10th fucking FOIA request I put in to once again request my medical records, Air Force OSI paperwork, everything else. The Air Force Academy has never actually produced anything. Ever, even in court, which is why we're trying to get to an actual jury trial, because they can't just ignore discovery. But they always find a way to get out of discovery by trying to put it back to an administrative process. I digress. I finally get a letter back from the Air Force, the Defense Health Agency, and everything else. And ironically, as stated here, we do not have the medical records that you are looking for. You don't? You don't have my medical records? Well, you have no problem going to 10th District Court and saying that I'm mentally crazy and I have all these issues and I wasn't sexually assaulted and everything else in court. But when you ask to produce the evidence proving your side of the story, you can't. Well, that fucking is so convenient. Isn't it, General Clark? Isn't it? It's so convenient that because I requested that you fill this out, this FOIA request. And at the end of the day, you can't do it. You can't produce any evidence on my mental health records that I was crazy. Even through an official FOIA years later, which is only supposed to take 6 to 10 months for FOIA requests to be fulfilled. This one took 2 years. The other one before that was 4 years, and you guys still said we had bupkis. So my issue is this. You guys took away my life, put $286,000 in my credit report, have tried to destroy my life for the past 14 years. When asked for the evidence to prove it, you can't. You can't produce shit. There's not a single piece of evidence backing up any of your claims. And somehow, I'm still responsible for everything that happened at USAFA. Well, that's fucking convenient, isn't it, sir, ma'am, whoever the hell else you guys want to identify as at this point. Because you don't identify as fucking leaders, that's for sure. So I don't know if leader's a pronoun, but I just made it one. So if you haven't listened to the Failure Podcast and any of the podcasts I've been on before, I highly suggest anyone out there interested in Dorito versus USA, or if you've been retaliated against for mental health records or anything else in the military, please go listen to the podcast. Please support the cause. Please start calling your congressman, because I'm the one pushing it up to brass tacks. When it comes down to the finish line, I asked them for the evidence. I asked them to produce it for the past 14 years, and they can't produce a goddamn thing. Not a single fucking piece of paperwork. And for all the people that come out to me and saying, oh, slander and libel, and you've said these things about me and everything else, do you think that I would honestly go on a podcast or interview people if I couldn't back up what I said? Unfortunately for all of you, I still have my Air Force Academy hard drive with all the MFRs from OSI that has been in a secured vault for a very long time, hidden away from any access to the internet so OSI can't hack into it and destroy the evidence. And if you don't think that I know you weren't raping cadets and you weren't fucking other people and you weren't working with Lieutenant Colonel Christensen or any of those other people involved at the Air Force Academy at the time, and you happen to run some big multi-million-dollar business now and you're afraid of what's going to happen when those people come out and tell everyone that you raped them, oops. I told you I wasn't going to show all my cards yet, and we're just waiting for the right time, but I wouldn't say anything I couldn't prove. That's for damn sure. At the end of the day, give me my stuff back. You guys can't prove it. You guys can't do anything about it. I've done all the formal requests, so I'm asking the Secretary of the Air Force, do the right thing. Sign it on the dotted line. Give me my shit back. This shit's over. You guys have been given 14 years to prove your side of the case, and you can't come up with jack shit. Jack shit. At all. So let's move on with life. Let's fix our Air Force Academy. Let's make it better. Let's stop retaliating against people for reporting sexual assault and giving mental health conditions and everything else. And let's start holding officers and people accountable, and not with the UCMJ. I'm talking about civilian prosecution and putting these people in jail. Period, end of story. Enough is enough. But you guys just showed your cards today, and it's hilarious. Like, I told you so.